Hello, citation. What to do? Start the gamer. All fire to do that game. No vibes. Like, subscribe. Let's get it. We are back. Happy Tuesday, Durag Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Had a great weekend. We are back for another live stream, and this one will look familiar. We're back on Suicide Squad, the very much somewhat alive live service game. What's up, Mr. Clean Kids? What's up, Jude? Sean? What's up, Travis? Hayden? What's up, Bun? What's up, FP? Yes, I still play this game sometimes. What's up, Champagne? Started playing months ago. So on live support. Accurate. What's up, Amy? MCW, Charles. So if you recall, I was here for the launch of Suicide Squad Season 2. Had a lot of stuff to do that day. I had to see Deadpool, Wolverine. Had to do some Marvel Rivals stuff. And I was running into bugs with this update. I think the stream literally ended with Mrs. Freeze stuck in the wall. Literally stuck in the building. I couldn't do it, so I literally couldn't even play. But I've been playing a little bit offline in my spare time, and I saw they were doing maintenance today to do a little update to, you know, polish the game up a bit. I was like, all right, let me hop in. Might as well do a stream. Finish it, because I finished my Mrs. Freeze build, but I didn't finish the story yet. I didn't beat Brainiac yet. This is of course the update when they reveal, big surprise, we didn't actually kill the Justice League, so we got to beat Brainiac and rescue the Flash, bring him back to Task Force X. And I wanted to do that with Mrs. Freeze, so I wanted to make sure I had her geared up properly, so we can finally do that. Favorite character is definitely the Joker. I didn't like Mrs. Freeze when I first tried her out. I still think the Joker's better, especially now that we got the Mark Hamill Arkham Joker fit. But I got Mrs. Freeze build to a place where I like it. I'm more used to her movement. She definitely feels a lot better now that I've got her a good build and mastered her movement a bit than when I first tried her out. Her traversal definitely takes some getting used to, but it's actually pretty decent for long range movement once you kind of figure out a little bit of the tricks. You can move a bit. You can do some canceling. Joker's is still better, but hers is definitely better once you kind of finesse it a little bit. I still don't like the cooldowns they put on everybody. But as you see, you can do some cool stuff here. You can extend her movement longer than I thought when I first picked her up. I might try once all the updates are done. I bet Travis has been playing every day. You can't fool me, Travis. I know you love this game. Sorry, games have been dead recently. They're all just RPGs or shooters. That's definitely not true. Not even close to true. Yeah, I'm curious, like, where do you primarily get your gaming news? Like what game platforms do you own? Because I'll see comments like that where, oh, there's no good games, or the only games are this specific type of game. And I kind of take for granted the fact that, you know, I follow, you know, it's literally my job to follow gaming and what's the latest. But I feel like that information is like so readily available. Like there's so many games out there every year for different people. Like even the term RPG is kind of like a, just in a vacuum, just saying every game is an RPG doesn't actually make sense, because obviously it's not true, but also RPG is such an umbrella term. Like so many games are calling themselves RPG because they have RPG mechanics. But they're not literally RPGs. Like there's the gaming landscape is not filled with Baldur's Gate 3. Like not even close. But there's just like this, but you'll see this like sentiment, like, oh, every game is like this, and it's like, well, no, like you have some games that are like this, but there are just a very diverse amount of games out there. You know, the indie game market is thriving. The AA market has been thriving. Like there's a lot going on in gaming. Have I considered playing Digimon games? I have not. But I do miss the original. I used to play Digimon all the time. I was obsessed with Digimon. Everybody understandably got super into Pokemon, you know, and I did too. But when Digimon Adventure came out, that was it for me, bro. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with Digimon. Like those early Digimon. Oh my god. I had the game. I love Digimon. At one point, way more than Pokemon. Oh, the newer series didn't hit for me though. I get it, Sir Tyler. It's not, as long as you understand, like, you know, there's like obviously a clear ceiling on this game's potential, and you can get it for cheap. You can have fun with the gameplay, especially when you figure out the characters, put some builds together. I'll definitely say the Joker is by far the most fun, gameplay wise. I feel like they could have done more with Mrs. Freeze's at least the gear. Like I managed to put together a pretty good Frozen build. But you know, it definitely took some effort, because despite, you know, Freeze being like the big theme of this season, really not that much Freeze. Like there Like, they didn't add a bunch of cool freeze weapons like they've done in the past for stuff. Like, I thought there was going to be a really cool freeze gun, but the new gun for this season just applies burn. Even the Killer Frost set is burn based. Like, I thought it was a really weird choice. But now that I built around it, I can, you know, do the freeze. I could freeze you know, people a lot. But I feel like a freeze gun was like a no-brainer, and we just didn't get it. Like, in order to get traversal, in order to be able to freeze all the time, I had to basically sacrifice traversal damage because I'm using the penguin set. So I'll always be able to freeze enemies.
Let's try something new.
There, retrieve the Terminot biomatter.
Let's see. Here's next. Here's some good enemies. There we go. Put this in.
Yes. Suppress the Earthlings with artillery. Apologies, Task Force X. I seem to have unleashed aerial mines in your location.
The time freeze is still the #1 way to play. I just made some modifications for the Mrs. Freeze version, so I could freeze enemies.
Gathered enough specimens. Now begin the biohacking. Retrieve that Terminot waste. No whining.
Can't see the weak point.
The weak point is secured, Earthlings. Try again.
I ran out of time. I literally couldn't see it. Like, was that a glitch? All right, let's try this again.
Firing sequence, Task Force X.
That was the only weak point that wasn't actually visible. J Shield Blast. This game is 100. Kill. This game is 1,000,000.
Enough Terminot remains. Time to redirect at the target.
Well, now my weapon is just firing wildly. Well,
Very efficient, Task Force X.
And then you have to do pretty much an identical mission before you get to Brainiac. It feels like they kind of gave up here. Like, these missions before the mission. This feels lower effort than usual. What's up, Bruno? This game, I kind of you got bullied.
I'm banned from several casinos. You'll have to ask Nora why.
That was just some random trivia. Mrs. Freeze is banned from several casinos.
defense will shatter soon, Task Force X.
We can't ask Nora because she's frozen.
All the worlds.
I'm here.
Hold on. My systems need some adjustment.
Are we starting this? There we go. Let the games begin.
Death Ray, really? Come on! Terminatus Detritus is right for the taking. So take it! My resources are dwindling.
Where are the enemies? Where you at? There we go.
Gathered enough specimens. Now begin the biohacking.
Why are you screaming?
Why are they black?
I can't hear
I'm very curious. They're like extra crispy. They're like black mines showing up. Freeze. Sadot the Gamer is the final boss. This is accurate. I mean, so far I haven't gotten stuck in a wall of a building, so that's a plus.
Plasma beams should bring a little more order to your chaos. The weapon's exposed. I'm sure you'll attack it now.
Very important that I'm not getting stuck into any walls like last time.
Initiate new firing sequence.
Yo, what's up with these black balls everywhere?
Failure noted. I'll recalibrate.
And these annoying Batman enemies. Is it because of the Batman enemies? All the balls are black.
Formed into a bomber. It's beautiful, really.
Better than card loading. Who knew? That's plenty. I should get these alien guts back in circulation. Hold on. My system.
It's not a pause. That's literally what we're seeing here.
Data indicates that did not work.
Shooting the balls. I guess they're supposed to be camouflage.
Good choice, Dr. Grindel. Light work.
You said light work? Holy.
Plasma on earthling flesh. It's a bomb to me.
They got Mrs. Freeze talking that talk. They got Karen. They got Karen. They got Karen saying light work.
I always knew you were a cold, calculating killer like me, Freeze.
How often do you think Mrs. Freeze says the N-word?
Air is human.
I feel like she lets it fly in private.
Target identified. Freeze. Grab the Terminite chunk so we can kill the big gun.
Only when she's singing along to Drake. Or Kendrick Lamar. We don't know which side of the beef she's on.
Gathered enough specimens. Now begin the biohacking.
Everyone, let's not touch the floating mines.
We've shaken the cannon's structural stability. Resources are dwindling.
One of our little terminals has all grown up. Welcome a new bomber.
People hate so much on this game. The hate on this game is mostly justified. Depends on who it's coming from.
Look alive. Energy weapon firing.
There are definitely a lot of people who have never played this game
Terminat debris ready for sampling. And throwing.
who only are saying they don't like it for culture war reasons. You can easily point them out because they have literally no idea what they're talking about.
Collected enough terminat remains. Time to redirect at the target.
But there is plenty of criticism to go around.
Is unleashing her true self. Stop her.
Hold on. My systems need some adjustment.
You wouldn't harm a poor defenseless extra-dimensional weapon, would you?
There's another one.
Our gun-on-gun violence is paying off. Don't let up.
Gun on gun violence.
Precision. Terminat detritus is right for the taking. So take it.
Yeah, she definitely her dialogue definitely screams Karen. Oh,
That's plenty. I should get these alien guts back in circulation.
they thought they was escaping. Hold up.
This artillery barrage should keep you in check.
Attention, I'm reloading.
A bunch of ops down here. Holy.
Gathered enough specimens. Now begin the biohacking.
You sent the terminals controlling my weapon into effect.
Alright, it's the last one. Now it's Brainiac time. I don't know if they're going to do a Batman. It seems like right now they're recycling Flash and Superman again. Like we've seen now multiple Superman and Flash remixes. I'm assuming maybe when it's time to rescue Batman, they'll do a Batman Brainiac. Which will be weird though, because Batman doesn't actually have any superpowers. But I'm assuming he's just gonna use the fear toxin to go into kaiju form. The Gotham map is season 3.
He may be somewhat disoriented when you find him, so handle him with care.
You heard the doc.
I don't know what the season 4 map is, but that's that one's Deathstroke. Season 3 is the Gotham update. And you big grind. It's not even much of a grind. Like, I played some grindy games. Hello, First Descendants. It's not that this game is grindy.
Need some adjustment.
To enjoy your last gasp before you drown beneath the
It's just
tide of forces.
the content itself is lacking. In the especially in the end game.
I have eyes on our next target.
Like, it doesn't have like a really interesting end game. And obviously the story content is just pretty much non-existent after launch. And I feel like that's those set pieces, that story stuff was like the highlight of the campaign.
I'll be more than happy
Like,
to
the best stretch of game was like the first couple hours.
I've made a breakthrough.
You know, you went through, you know, the different objectives. You had that really cool Flash versus Green Lantern thing. You went through the museum and got hunted by Batman.
And pencils ready, Task Force X.
Like, all that was really cool.
Give these a moment. The end result may shock you.
And then it just felt like everything just kind of went off the rails after that.
I admit, I did borrow some inspiration from Freeze on the rapid cooling ratios.
What is that explosion?
As expected.
Let me lock in.
I modified this Kryptonian thunderclap. Feedback is greatly appreciated.
I'm just getting hit by random explosions,
Knock the wind out of me.
and I don't know
You Earthlings
I don't know what
have
that is.
superstitions about cold winds, correct? I suggest heeding them.
My shield is randomly getting wiped out.
Is this how it feels?
And I'm just, yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but all right.
Extreme decreases in temperature can result
Let
in
me
loss
try
of
to
limbs
adjust.
and death. I do hope you're prepared. A chilling round of applause.
What's up, Batman?
for our would-be heroes.
So we got that part out the way.
A little quick preparation first.
Have something nice, hot, and fresh.
I admit, I did borrow some inspiration from Freeze on the rapid cooling ratios. Target identified.
Freeze.
Shattered.
Come on. Nope, he's still immune.
I
He's
tried
still
to
immune.
research this move of the Kryptonians. You Earthlings are disgusting. I made changes.
Alright, we shoot him.
The other side of the equation now.
We counter. Now he's going to switch to Green Lantern. Flash. Which recycled one is this? Flash? Or he's just using another Superman move.
Make room for the more useful classics. Despite how distressingly ill-prepared you always are, this distraction is useful.
My range is that bad.
always good to get out and move
Let me
around.
destroy those
The cold does
crystals.
metaphorically get to one.
Running from this tornado. Yeah, these boss fights just really missed the mark. I feel like.
You might think wind would be less combustible, and yet. Force, heat, mass. Simple arithmetic, but effective.
Oh, we got a fire tornado.
Nice try, big lad.
Not much variation here, but there is potential.
Hold still. Alright, this is the next phase.
Stick with you. I'll break you down into something even simpler.
He looks ridiculous.
and much.
He looks absolutely ridiculous. The real reason this game fails because it's almost completely broken. No, Jay. It's because something woke. It's not because people couldn't log in for 6 weeks.
Better restore my systems.
It's because Harley Quinn's boobs weren't out.
Enough of a challenge to break a limit. A different placement this time to optimize the throughput.
If Harley's boobs were hanging out, it wouldn't have mattered if people couldn't log into the game.
Oh, make myself dizzy, but it's worth it.
Extreme decreases in temperature can result in loss of limb and death.
That's how that works. Well, it was too woke, Jay.
Applause for our would-be heroes. I admit, I did borrow some
It doesn't matter if a game is playable.
cooling ratios.
It matters if there's fan service. Woke.
Seems like I need a quick recalibration.
Reload's so slow.
Modified
Holy.
this Kryptonian thunderclap. Feedback is greatly appreciated.
Need more ammo capacity.
Oh, what's the brain matter? Kicking on free.
And there goes your supply.
For our would-be heroes.
Pardon me, sir.
Have this done in a language breakthrough. You earthlings have superstitions about cold.
Why is this helicopter immune to damage?
I suggest heeding them.
That's dumb. Alright.
You're in for nasty weather.
Despite how distressingly ill-prepared you always are, I admit, I did borrow some inspiration from Freeze on the record. All plans must be capable
Got him
of
down.
handling setbacks, especially such frustratingly tenacious ones as you.
Next season of the game is Lawless. Before we get to that, there's a part 2
My systems need some adjustment.
of this season.
One should always try to begin with proven theory. enough of a challenge to break.
And then after part 2,
What could I possibly ask of you?
we'll get the Lawless season, which is Gotham. And then it's the season that everybody's coming back for, season 4.
Always good to get out and move around. The cold does metaphorically get to one. And yet you foolishly persist for days on end. Mind-bendingly incomprehensible. This occurs naturally on your Earth. Who comes up with these? I finally see why Kal-El was so excessively jovial. Keep fishing.
Freeze. Hey, Brainiac.
Allowed you to continue more than
Chill.
enough. This little diversion ends now. Not to worry. I spiced things up just for you, dear squad. You will not stand in the way of my research. Once more, and I will finally be rid of you, uselesses.
He's almost dead.
Chill down your spine is your impending doom. Ah, my projections predicted something akin to this. I never intended to experience it. But I'll...
And he's down.
This data is beginning to give diminishing return.
What the heck? You see that? Mrs. Freeze glitched in behind him. Alright, we got rid of Brainiac.
Oh, wow. I'm not really used to getting winded.
Oh, look who it is.
Hey, shouldn't you all be in jail?
He's back. He's back, chat. We saved Barry. The real Barry. What drop for Barry game? I dropped in after they apparently fixed some stuff to see if it was running well. So we unlocked the mastery levels. We rescued Barry Allen.
Precision villainous engineering.
That was not a lot. You thought he died? Oh my god. Remember? We killed him. We killed him. Oh no. Oh, he's alive. I would have loved the whole movie, or at least more than 30 seconds worth of cutscenes. But, you know, standards. That sucks. Don't want it. Eagle stack deck. I already have several of those. Don't need that. Reverse flash. Harmonic. Already have that. This for Deadshot. Oh, I got a corrupted piece. Corrupted Golden Gliders Astro Projector Neck Bomb. What's the corrupted version do? When you perform a suicide strike, you create an astral projection of yourself That increases your max shield by 5%. Ooh, pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. I do a lot of suicide strike. Let's see, we got the heat wave, incendiary charge. Already have that. Got another firefly gun, assault rifle.
The hell are you idiots doing? Get the Flash into stasis and get back to work.
Wish you were always that fun, Flasher. We'll make a sidekick out of you yet.
Instead of cutscenes, they just gave us some. They just gave us screenshots at the end. That's crazy. They're like, we got to save some money. We're not going to animate this part. We're just going to make them cutscenes. Oh, the budget cuts. The budget cuts are crazy.
Another gift for me, Aaron? Don't you get embarrassed? Oh, you would have loved this scene.
I wonder if the entire season 3 is going to be still shots. Like, it feels like eventually we're not going to have any cutscenes at all.
Aaron.
Thought there was one more. Oh well.
I suppose even I can indulge myself every now and then.
Let's see where that's going. Alright, this was a neck bomb. So I was using the reverse flash focus for the neck bomb. These. Let's try this one out. Over the flash focus. Corrupted golden glider. That will up and master these. Legion. There'll be a motion comp. I legitimately, by season 4, I think it actually might, the entire thing actually might end up being a motion comic.
Engineering stuff for real life world?
Like, legitimately. At least at the, because people were like, oh, the Joker season, wow, where's all the cutscenes? Like, there, at least there were some. Especially when you brought him back. Like, they had that whole sequence. This one, they just did a slideshow. Oh boy.
You know your way around that equipment. Now, we walk into the future. I do not profess to be a miracle worker, but...
That is not great.
Look at this masterpiece. Why change it when it's not broken? This is why... Not happy? No, that's cool. I can fix it. Turn it back on, and everything on your TV can...
Alright, we got the... We're testing out the Golden Glider, the corrupted version. So that one sounds pretty good. Otherwise, this is the Mrs. Freeze build. Which is actually pretty good. I think it came out pretty good. This game is getting the Redfall treatment. I mean, I hope it does. I mean, obviously it's, you know, it's too late to salvage it. You know, they're definitely moving on. But Redfall got one more update. They added, you know, some of the promised stuff, including the offline mode. That's the main thing I'm hoping for. Like, obviously they're moving on. They have a smaller team, but I hope at least they manage to get out the update so that people can who want to, you know, can play the game offline. Because there are definitely still clearly people who still play the game, especially when they have all the characters. Like, shout out to Johnny Rocker. He's doing a fundraiser right now to literally save his streaming career. But he's streaming Marvel's Avengers. You know, because Marvel's Avengers has that offline component, you can go back to it whenever you want.
Allocate my resources and use them more wisely.
I like theories, but I love practice. I'll put your sacrifice to good use, parasite. A big crap nerd. Literally.
I at least want that for, you know, the people who enjoy Suicide Squad, you know. The ability to come back at some point, you know, just whenever you're feeling like it. Run around with Deathstroke for a little bit. You know, get your fix in. So the seasons and the parts, every update is supposed to be 6 weeks apart. Obviously, they've been working on a more extended time period. So, hold on. When did season 2 come out? You played your Deadpool yesterday. Forgot how fun the game is. Even though you could be in like 6 hours. Yeah, you can buy it. You can buy it for like $100. I might do it at some point. I kind of might. That game is so fun. All right. When does season 2 come out? July 25th. So 4 weeks, the 25th. So if they were on schedule, part 2 of season 2 of Suicide Squad would come out sometime in September. So assume end of the month. So probably, depending on how severe the delay is, the last week of September, we get part 2 of Suicide Squad season 2. So then, if I had to guess how it'll play out, especially with how scaled down everything is, best case, last week of September, part 2, season 2, and then last week of December, season 3, the Gotham season. That's my best guess. We're just getting the game the same to use for Deadpool 3. Nice. I got the skins in Fortnite. Can't believe I'm actually playing Fortnite again. It's actually going to happen. I'm actually going to be returning to Fortnite like I'm Jay Shockblast or something for that Marvel season. What is with this corrupted glider?
I seem to be forming a bloodthirsty habit.
It explodes when I use it.
Yes! You stuck it to Brainiac for sure! You really are awesome!
Now,
Alright, that's done.
Lord, and another round of flaming ice!
whatever minor victory you've won, Earthlings, this new Kolu
It sounded good on paper, but in practice, it's kind of bad.
Restore my systems.
neutralize the Earthlings. There are 4 of them and more of you.
Do you think they should let us play as the heroes? I mean, if they haven't already planned for that, they can't do it. I understand the game was fundamentally designed to be a shooter.
Technology should be rigorously tested. I volunteer.
So all the updates that we're getting, it's basically what they already have lying around. Like, they do not have the resources to do any major updates or changes. That's why the updates have been getting scaled down. So if they didn't plan for us to play as the Justice League, which it looks like they didn't, it's not happening. Because that's the only way we'd be doing it. Like when I heard that they were going to have you bring back the Justice League, I thought the really cool way to do it would be to like have a level where, and this is me thinking once again of how the concept wasn't bad, it's the execution. Like rescuing the real Justice League, like if you had a mission where you had to go on the Brainiac ship, fight your way through, rescue the League, and then you can break them out and fight your way out of the ship using that Justice League member. Like that would be cool. But I mean, we saw how we got the Flash. We went to the same boss arena that we've been doing for all these post-launch Brainiac missions. You beat Brainiac. The Flash runs out of the ship, and then you bring him back. The end. That's it. Nothing more creative than that. It's just the same boss fight with recycled mechanics. The League member appears. Apparently, you're not even going to get cutscenes anymore. You're getting that one brief cutscene when they first get rescued, and then a slideshow, and that's the end of it. Damn shame. Going glide firearms are better. Yeah, the problem is like I already have like the better firearm, because like I built this to be like a freeze build using the Penguin set and the Killer Frost tier 3. with a little bit of the tier 1. So the best in slot for that is the Master Fi gun. So I was just trying out the Golden Glider one since the neck bomb is a flex slot. But yeah, I feel like just the reverse flash is just better. It's a better piece. Do I know will Rocksteady develop further this game? I do know, and the answer is no, they will not.
Brainiac in multiple dimensions is a fine strategy test, Force X. Kudos.
Rocksteady is currently working on a director's cut for Hogwarts Legacy. They're helping out Avalanche, and they're pitching their next game, which is supposed to be a single-player game. WBF over Rocksteady. From what we got from the Jason Schreier article, Rocksteady effed over Rocksteady. Specifically, Jamie and Sefton Hill. They, from what we heard in the report, this was very much a them problem. This was a bag fumble on their part.
Accuracy serves you well, Dr. Prius.
They chose to make this game. They chose to make it the way it is. They didn't really know what they were doing, what direction to go. And it resulted in a bit of a disaster. It's easy to scapegoat the publisher when the publisher is like interfering. But from everything we know, this wasn't the case. WB let them cook. And there was no one who had any common sense at WB to like tell them, hey, this is bad, don't do this. They just like it, because they clearly have, you know, executives and people who are out of touch with gaming. And they just looked at what they had and said, yeah, this looks great. Another billion-dollar game franchise, just like Hogwarts Legacy. It's like, no. That's not what this is. Bathing suits armor back. That's literally what the First Descendant did. The problem is First Descendant led with that. They already had a lot of players. It was a free-to-play game. They also had their chance to do the sexy Harley Quinn outfit, and they decided not to. Which I can respect. I can respect your commitment to just letting the game just drown. I was like, hey, we had our vision. This is how we wanted it to be. We don't care what the players want. The game isn't turning around. Who cares? Yeah, do it. We'll just do what we want. I respect it. Someone definitely forced them to put the skin in the shop, but they were like, well, we're going to do it our way.
You must have this many peer reviews to use. Sorry. Mom.
But gotta respect it. Hope you keep doing what you love, being your best self. Thank you very much. I hope I can continue doing that as well. Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. Any updates on the last Ronin game? None, unfortunately. Nothing good.
Let's tweak it some more.
Unfortunately, the news is not good. Maybe they'll make a surprise appearance at Gamescom, but I doubt it. If they weren't at the THQ Nordic showcase, we're probably not hearing anything for the rest of the year, unless they're finally going to announce that the game is canceled. Seems like it's canceled, or they're trying to save it from being canceled.
Did you read that paper I gave you? Did you like it?
It's still hope. I mean, we just got that good news for Tango Gameworks. We thought Microsoft had successfully killed another good studio,
Your way around that equipment?
but
Now we walk into the future.
another studio swooped in. Another company swooped in. I think it was the PUBG. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna save this. We're gonna save this game.
Fiddling is the key to success for sure. Let's fiddle with things.
We're gonna swoop in and save Tango. We're gonna make more Hi-Fi Rush games." So it's definitely possible that the last Ronin game will continue somehow.
I feel safer knowing that they can't turn on us.
PMD side with no more rivals. I was too, but you're gonna be getting some Marvel Rivals sooner than you think. Matter of fact, I have to do a video because we're like, what, 7 days away from Gamescom. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of Marvel Rivals at Gamescom. We'll just say that. So if you miss Marvel Rivals, you thought it wouldn't be a while. It'd be a while before you hear from him. You're in luck. Let's see. Which one was this? August 20th. Yep. Gamescom Opening Night Live. That's the one you want to be tuning in for. Gamescom is like a multi-day event. It's like a 4-day event. But you're gonna want to tap into Opening Night Live. That's the big Jeff Keighley stream. I'm going to be co-streaming,
Protocols.
so definitely hang out for that.
Bumble about is more of a distraction than expected.
But
Bring some much needed
Marvel Rivals shall be there.
Checking out the bowl in what I call a spare parts haul like this. Gorgeous. Hold on, my systems need some adjustment.
They are revealing new characters. I can't tell you what the characters are, but I can tell you Marvel Rivals will be revealing multiple new characters coming to the game at Gamescom. Well, this is still the first part of season 2. I haven't heard anything about Rise of Hydra yet. That's still in the maybe category. But the Justice League game is a rumor, officially. We know that Rocksteady is working on their next game. It's supposed to be single player. And one of the rumors is that they're pitching a Justice League game. You're excited for Bucky and Natasha. 25% of people choosing unzip is diabolical. So Blazing, No news about Deadpool coming to Marvel Rivals.
Target spotted ahead. We should investigate.
No official news about any character. I'll clarify. Marvel Rivals will be revealing new characters at Gamescom, but I can't tell you anything about them. I am not allowed to.
Isn't it time we axe freeze?
Let's blow this joint.
Whee. I wish he had a grenade regeneration perk,
Not used to failure.
but don't really need it. I'm just used to using grenades more. I can't speculate on what they'll do. Specifically, all I can say is that they are adding a lot of fan favorite characters to Marvel Rivals, and I'm looking forward to the official reveals because a lot of people are going to be very happy. I just hope all the characters are good. I was definitely disappointed with Thor and the Hulk.
You can have fun. I'm having fun right now.
Your penchant for accuracy serves you well, Dr. Frias.
But there's always time to do balancing and adjustments. You know, we were just in a beta and an alpha. But I'm sure eventually they'll give characters that need them buffs. The point is just to have those characters in the game, and they're really crushing it when it comes to character selection.
And I will reclaim what's mine.
You need Gambit and Cyclops and Marvel Rivals. That would be the dream. One of the dreams. Cyclops will be really interesting. I definitely want Nightcrawler. I think Nightcrawler would be sick. K1 Domino. Ooh, Domino would be interesting. I'm wondering how they would balance out her abilities. I don't think it matters whether or not it's Captain Marvel. I'm just waiting for confirmation that it's still in development, because we still haven't had an official announcement about what exactly they're doing with that third game. The only thing we knew is that only thing we really have officially is, or what's close to official, is Jeff Grubb's last reporting on it, where he said it seemed like they are really super early in development on it and haven't even decided on a hero. They're just still going through different ones. Maybe we'll finally get an update at Gamescom, but yeah, as of now, we still don't have any official confirmation from EA. So this is what I was looking for. 10% chance When you melee a frozen enemy, they will instantly die and freeze all enemies within 10 meters. 10% chance. That's actually not very good. Kind of don't need that now. I can already apply AoE freeze. And like really kill enemies fast. That doesn't seem worth it.
Ready to try one of my...
Some more Luther coin. Sentry would be dope. Gotta have Rogue. What's up? What's up? Welcome. Yeah, the Captain Marvel game, I didn't even consider that. When I was thinking of like a potential third EA Marvel game, I was thinking of like Hulk or Captain America, Thor, Daredevil. Captain Marvel is definitely interesting.
Life sentence for a death sentence? Try me.
I definitely would prefer Doctor Strange or Wanda. But a Captain Marvel game could be fun.
The leader of the Metal Men shows off his business acumen.
You've been keeping to our arrangement, so I've been finding more material.
Based on EA's deal,
After effects the Flash is likely to incur.
I think they probably kept it. But very high chance that it was canceled based on that pivot. I think it was the agreement. We don't obviously don't have the full agreement, but they haven't completely abandoned their relationship with Disney. They did say they're pivoting away from licensed games, which is why they canceled the Mandalorian game. But they're still doing the Jedi game. They're still doing the two Iron Man and Black Panther. And the deal did say in the press release that it's for at least 3 Marvel games. So I feel like more likely than not, they're going to do it. Unless there's like an easy out in the contract that allows them to not do it, but I think more likely, just based on the wording of that deal, they're going to still do it. It's just we're not going to hear about it for potentially a long time. Why am I playing this game? Because I want to. That's why I play pretty much every game I play. But Rogue gotta have Gambit. Yeah, if they do introduce Rogue or Gambit, I feel like they should be a package deal. For sure. I definitely would want to have both of them at the same time. And I need to hear Rogue call me sugar. That's a deal breaker. Rogue absolutely must call me sugar. I'm curious how they do her kit though. She'd obviously have to be a melee fighter. And a flyer.
Isn't it time we axe freeze?
Like her ability is that she can absorb, she can take people's powers with a touch, but Loki already kind of has that ability. He can just steal someone's powers, but that's his ultimate. So I don't know if they wanted to make that her ultimate, because I feel like if it was like a normal ability, like you get close to someone and you can temporarily use their kit, that would be insane. Like balancing that out would be crazy. Because Gambit's kit is easy to imagine. He's got his pole. He's got his throwing cards for his range attack. So you can easily imagine that. Rogue is a little tougher. Yeah, I saw the rumors they're targeting 2025 for Wonder Woman. If they are, she should definitely be at the game. Either if they are targeting Wonder Woman for 2025, then she absolutely needs to either be at Gamescom or the Game Awards, like without exception. If Wonder Woman that doesn't appear at either the Game Awards or Gamescom, it's not coming out next year. Because they haven't had a single official update on that game since 2021. It looked like they were kind of gearing up with that survey they sent around that had concept art and story details that leaked, but you know, they started DMCAing everyone who shared it, which definitely helped marketing. If they are targeting 2025, they have to step up the marketing. The marketing for Wonder Woman has been atrocious. The marketing for that game has been awful. So if they are really targeting 2025, they're going to have to turn up, like starting now, starting like this month for Gamescom. They have to really turn up, because they're legitimately people who every time I do a video, there are legitimately people who are surprised that there's a Wonder Woman game coming out. Or I'll make a video about a DC game and people will be like, man, I wish they made a Wonder Woman game. Or literally every time. Or I'll make a video about the Wonder Woman game and I'll get comments like, wait, since when is there a Wonder Woman game? Like, people legitimately don't know that this game is coming out. Which is crazy. Like, they really need to step up the marketing. Assuming they're ready. Because last we heard they were having problems behind the scenes. So if it is ready for 2025, then the marketing has to start turning up. You can imagine Green Goblin and Marvel Rivals. Oh, for sure. Flyer. Throwing the pumpkin bombs. Game Awards is December. So we got Gamescom opening it live on the 20th of this month. We're about 7 days away. And then you got the Game Awards in December. You think other publishers haven't touched Avengers IP because of cost or last Avengers game disaster? Yes. So there's definitely an element of we have to be careful with how we market because no one wants to be compared to Marvel's Avengers. I feel like Marvel Rivals has done a great job of dodging that by making a completely different game. But yeah, the cost is a big factor when it comes to Marvel, because you gotta understand, it's very expensive to make a Marvel game. It's expensive in general to make a AAA game currently, but it's especially true for Marvel. You know, they demand a lot when it comes to their licensing. Like, you have to pay them a lot of money for the right to get that license. Then you have to pay them annually as long as the game is listed. So you have to pay them a cut of all the revenue you generate. So right off the bat, that puts you behind, a little bit behind the 8 ball, because you're like, okay, well, in addition to the normal pressures of making a AAA game, we have to also make extra to cover, you know, all the stuff we have to give Marvel. So it's even higher barrier for profitability. Now, the idea is that, well, because it's the Marvel brand, that comes with some level of safety, but that hasn't really been the case for any game recently, except for the Insomniac Marvel games. You know, Marvel Rivals is getting, you know, popular. I think it's going to be okay, but that's a free-to-play game. But you're asking for a $70 game. You talk about a $70 game, then it's like, okay, well, that's going to come with those risks, and you have to make sure you're picking the right game to build around. Because Guardians of the Galaxy was a great game, but it just wasn't enough. You know, it just couldn't overcome everything. The Marvel brand couldn't save it. You know, it found its audience. It got great reviews, but it wasn't a big moneymaker, which is unfortunate.
Let's tweak it some more.
So it'll really be interesting to see what these single player Marvel games do. Because you can look at Midnight Suns and say, okay, the only reason that game didn't do well is because it was a card game, which, you know, fair. And Guardians of the Galaxy, you could dismiss it and be like, okay, well, that game didn't do as well, but, you know, that's because you could only play as Star-Lord. It was published by Square Enix right after they published Marvel's Avengers, so people were worried about it. You know, the marketing wasn't great. So you can hand wave some stuff there. But if 1943 doesn't do well, or if Iron Man and Black Panther doesn't do well, and they're good games, then it kind of begs the question, okay, is the Marvel IP like safe anymore for gaming? And it's like, well, you know, that remains to be seen. Like, will people show up for a non-Spider-Man single-player Marvel game?
You're bound to try to steal.
I have no idea when EA is going to do the third Marvel game, for sure. I have no idea. I have no insight on that right now. Because I remember specifically when they first started showing Guardians of the Galaxy. I was still covering Avengers, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, another Marvel game from Square Enix? Uh-oh. Like, that's the first thing I said. Uh-oh. Square's doing another Marvel game? I don't know. And then I saw the gameplay. I'm like, it looks floaty. It looks weird. The gameplay, like, it's only Star-Lord. You know, it looked a little floaty and not crisp. So I was like, I don't know about this. You know, the trailers didn't really show off how funny the game was. Like, because the gameplay definitely wasn't the selling point. It was literally the story. The writing is what sold the game. It wasn't the combat. Combat was fine. You know, it was one of those things where it felt better than it looked. But story is what drove that game. And they really didn't convey that in the marketing. But, you know, fortunately, High Ruler convinced me to give it a try because he got to try it early. I was like, all right, I'll try it early. See if it's any good. And fortunately, I'm glad I did because it ended up being one of my favorite games. But if I, you know, was hesitant, I'm sure a lot of other people were for similar reasons. And that was just unfortunate. Kid Bring Yourself, play Guardian, Star-Lord was nice. They only had stuff. And I got used to it quickly because, like I said, the story and the writing is so good. And the way they allow you to control the other Guardians in the combat kind of gives you the vibe, kind of gives you that, you know, that feeling of getting to play with other people. The way they handle those team up mechanics. Once you get to that, it's still not quite the same, but the amount of control you do have over the other Guardians does kind of, you know, mix it up a bit, make the combat a little more varied. But it's definitely well worth playing. It was an amazing game. So I think Insomniac would do it. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, right now it seems Insomniac is all in on Spider-Man and the X-Men. But at some point, Fantastic Four could be a thing. You know that Marvel is going to want to do that. You know, Marvel likes to use games to push people, you know, promote their planned stuff in the cinematic universe. So I can definitely see them being like, all right, let's try to get someone to do some kind of Fantastic Four thing. Because we already know Fantastic Four is coming to Fortnite. You know, they've got them in mobile games. I honestly thought the Amy Hennig Skydance game was going to be Fantastic Four. I was surprised it was a Captain America Black Panther game. I thought that was going to be the Fantastic Four game. So if someone does make a Fantastic Four game, it probably won't be Insomniac. But I hope they do. Like, I think ideally Disney would like to have a AAA Fantastic Four game at least announced or in development, just in case their Fantastic Four movie, you know, isn't a disappointment. like the others have been. Because then there will be a demand for it. So if they already have one in development, then, you know, that could work out for them.
Let's transfer in an orderly fashion and emerge in one piece.
Marvel's Blade from Arcane Leon, that's not coming out until 2027. So you're probably not going to hear anything about that for a bit. That's the last I heard about that. They're targeting 2027. Maybe at the next Xbox showcase next year, they'll highlight Blade. Otherwise, you're gonna be waiting a while. They make another Avengers game. I feel like the next Avengers game is going to be very different, and I feel like Avengers was almost there, but I think someone's going to play it safe and try to make it more like Ultimate Alliance, or maybe even a modern
are depleted.
DC Universe Online.
More.
Because they're gonna want to avoid the appearance of being anything like Marvel's Avengers. I don't think the narrative has reset enough for Marvel's Avengers. Not enough time has passed yet.
Contact is extremely caustic. Locking that one.
Nightbot violating. Getting violated by Nightbot on your first comment is crazy.
Units, dispatch those Earthlings for me.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer an Eastern studio. I think is what you're getting at, because that's what we're getting from Marvel Rivals, and we're seeing, you know, how great that is, particularly with the character designs. So if I don't know what NetEase is. I know a little bit about what NetEase is planning, but you know, if they want to do it, I know they have an ongoing deal with Marvel. And I think Marvel Rivals is going to be very successful for them. And they've been getting away, starting to do more and more kind of doing more open world stuff. So if NetEase wants to do another Marvel game, this time maybe single player or like a PvE open world multiplayer, I'd be all for it. Because I know they have Where Winds Meet coming out, which is basically, you know, very much like a Ghost of Tsushima type of game, but you know, more flashier. So if we get like a big open world Marvel game, PvE, that would be pretty sick. But yeah, I would definitely prefer it be an Eastern studio if I was taking my pick. Yeah, 95% right. How the person said it, yeah.
New technology should be rigorously tested.
Yeah, if Marvel's Avengers, obviously they went wrong from the very beginning by choosing to make it in the Foundation engine, because they planned on making it first. They planned on making a single player Avengers game, but when it was when they pivoted to multiplayer, then you know that it started becoming the problem. They should have made it an Unreal Engine, for sure. And they definitely should not have tried to force in a looter shooter. Like, there was no reason to make the Avengers game a looter shooter. It didn't need it at all. I thought the idea of, you know, having this, you know, big story campaign where you go through multiple Avengers was a really good idea. Having the evolving story told through DLC updates was a very good idea. The concept of, you know, after the campaign, the post-launch, the end game would include like individual character quest lines. That was good, but because they tried to do the looter shooter thing, ended up making all that content lackluster. And I think there was very real potential there, like a co-op PvE open map Avengers game. That, and the combat was fantastic. So if you can kind of take the foundation of that and just polish it up, do it right, there's definitely a lot of money to be made there. Suicide Squad is not on Game Pass yet. Enjoying playing Captain Hawkeye and Avengers, which was more story in it. Yeah, that's ended up being a conflict, because it's like, you made it a looter shooter, but they clearly weren't very experienced when it came to looter shooters. So it was just kind of like half-assed, and then you had community members that were like, "Well, the best part is the story," but then the DLC updates, after Black Panther, didn't have much story, didn't have much replayability for the people who like the looter shooter aspect, and they were just kind of in a tough spot. It just wasn't working. It should have been free to play with paid DLC for sure. That would have extended it, because that was the big thing. They just ran out of funding. Like they were always going to fight a uphill battle because of the engine, but the game definitely performed better when it wasn't like a multiplayer thing. Like the raid was when like the game really started breaking down, but like smaller scale missions, the game performed fine. I feel like they should just kind of gone away from that. Use the free to play model with paid DLC to bring in more revenue, and then keep doing good skins in order to fund the game itself, to try to get some more substantial updates. But they didn't want to do it, so here we are. I don't know what their next plan is, Marvel-wise, but NetEase has been doing Marvel games. I think they've done two or three mobile games before Marvel Rivals came out. Yeah, they signed a deal with Marvel about 3 or 4 years ago. And I think in that time they've done 2 mobile games, and now they're doing Marvel Rivals. So there's definitely a potential for more, especially if the Marvel Rivals does as well as it looks like it's going to do. The thing you disliked the most about Avengers game was lack of variety of villains. You didn't like fighting Taskmaster over and over again? When they do Avengers 2, they have a plethora of skins from one to use. Well, I think the She-Hulk design, I was so sad when I saw that. That design was literally perfect. I don't know how she would end up looking in game, but the concept for She-Hulk in Avengers was perfection. I'm heartbroken that we were robbed of that greatness. It is a damn shame. I would have absolutely balled out on She-Hulk skins if they had did it right. I hope they added to Marvel Rivals. Do I think Insomniac games will ever come to Xbox? No. I don't even think Xbox is going to be a thing for that much longer. They're like getting out of the console business. They're going all in on Game Pass. Will you throw up the concept art? Hold up. Let me grab it. This was really, it was even better than I thought it was gonna be. All right, here is that's our first look at the Marvel's Avengers design for She-Hulk. What could have been. This was the. This is going to be the She-Hulk design in Marvel's Avengers. Miller just shared that. She was going to be voiced by Kritzia Bajos. That was her design. That was her the design for her default outfit. We went from finding 13 task assistant 13 Brainiacs. To be fair, with Avengers, we had more. We had, you had Taskmaster. You also had Abomination. You had Maestro. Similar to Abomination, but it's technically a Hawk. But it was Maestro. You had Claw. There was some Monica Rappaccini, MODOK. The Turk and Billy could have been AoE stunned. If Xbox is no longer doing console, what's the point of Game Pass? Because with Game Pass, Game Pass makes Xbox consoles irrelevant. That's the whole point. Like Game Pass, I don't know if you've been keeping up, but Game Pass has changed a lot since it was first introduced. They're going all in on cloud gaming. You don't need an Xbox to play Game Pass. That's the problem. Because all Xbox games are releasing day one on PC and Game Pass, there's no reason to have a console. Because if you have PC, you can get all the Xbox games day one. If you have a Game Pass, you get all the new Xbox games day one, and you don't need an Xbox. Like if you have a Samsung Smart TV, you can play Game Pass. If you have an Amazon Fire Stick, you can play Game Pass. All you need is a controller. You don't actually need an Xbox. That's why sales are so down, because it's like, well, like, what do I have an Xbox for? If all I need is a good gaming PC, or a Samsung TV, or a Fire Stick, and a controller, why would I buy an Xbox? That's why they're kind of getting out of it. They're going all digital. They're going all cloud. It's like it's unnecessary. I don't know when they're planning on promoting the Iron Man game, but the last one we heard from Jeff Grubb about the Iron Man game, they were targeting 2025 potentially. If that's the case, then they would have to have the gameplay trailer either at Gamescom or at the Game Awards. Wish they gave PC players Spider-Man. That they pulled the plug on the game. What game? What, Avengers? Oh, they had no choice. Sony paid good money to keep Spider-Man in the Avengers game on PlayStation only. There was no chance of that happening. There's an Iron Man game. That's what I mean. Like they gotta start turning up the marketing. Yeah, I've covered it a bunch on the channel already, but even though the Iron Man game is supposed to be further along than the Black Panther game, it hasn't even gotten a trailer yet. All we got was the press release announcing the game, and then that's it. We got some news articles about it, but like the Black Panther game got a teaser trailer with their announcement. Iron Man just got one screenshot. One not even a screenshot, just some concept, just some art. Like there should not be a single superhero fan that doesn't know that there's an Iron Man game coming out.
Oh, do stay longer, Task Force X. We've already dug your graves on this one.
So sooner or later they got to start turning it up with the marketing.
It seems my local forces are depleted. Sending more.
So Iron Man game explores Iron Man's rogue gallery instead of making us fight generic robots over and over. Iron Man has a ton of villains like Blizzard, Gray, Gargo, etc. Yeah, there's still hush hush on the details. All we know it's story driven. We know it's open world in Unreal 5. So the prospect of flying around open world in Iron Man sounds pretty cool. But yeah, we don't know what they're doing villain wise.
Efficient. It practically has my name on it. I believe that I am the most qualified to use.
Black Panther game not coming out no time soon. So when Jeff Grubb leaked the Black Panther and Iron Man game, he said Iron Man was probably like 2025 at the earliest, because it was further along than the Panther game. So that would mean, assuming it's 2025 for that, then reasonably Black Panther, because it's a single player game, it doesn't take that long. So reasonably Black Panther should be 2026 at the earliest. More likely 27. Because turnaround time on a lot of EA stuff can be pretty fast, depending on who's doing it and the scale of the project. Spider-Man 2 DLC going to be released with Avengers 2. So I'm pretty sure Sony is confirmed to be skipping Gamescom, which is fine because September is supposed to be a big month for Sony. They're going to be at the Tokyo Game Show. People are speculating that we're going to get the PS5 Pro reveal. There's supposed to be a PlayStation Showcase next month. So if they do have a PlayStation Showcase, then I would definitely say that's when we should expect some of those big first-party Sony announcements that we haven't gotten yet, like your Ghost of Tsushima 2, your Spider-Man 2 DLC, maybe even Wolverine updates. They would definitely want that at a proper PlayStation Showcase, but we don't know if they're going to just do it at the Tokyo Game Show. Just be like, hey, we're just doing PS5 Pro here, they're just going to save it all for the showcase. Last time they were at the Tokyo Game Show, they just did indie stuff. We don't know yet what they're presenting, but it could be the Pro. But September looks like it's going to be the month. September, October should be the time for Spider-Man. But because they're supposed to have they've been promising, like their investors in particular, that they're going to be doing some big first-party game reveals. Because obviously, if you're announcing the PS5 Pro, it doesn't make any sense if you don't have any games to go with it. And we've been hearing that they have some big first party games planned for next year and going forward. So if you're not, if you're not talking about new games like a Wolverine, maybe a Venom, Ghost of Tsushima 2, then it's like, well, why are you announcing a PS5 Pro? like where are the first party games? So I think it's more likely if we do get a PS5 Pro announcement next month, they got to have some other games to go with it from their big studios. Maybe they announce, the next Santa Monica game. They have a bunch of other studios, House Marquee, working on stuff. That would definitely be the time to start really promoting some of these new first party games to justify people paying what is going to be like another $500 for just an upgraded PS5. You think that you heard there's going to be a GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundle? Maybe? I don't know about that. If Sony can swing that, that would definitely sell some PS5 Pros. Imagine a Daredevil VR game. You have to rely on your hearing. I don't think that would go very well. Especially since Daredevil also, even though he relies on his hearing, it's portrayed as like a visual thing because he doesn't totally see nothing. Like that's a common misconception. He doesn't see, blackness. That's not his view. But I'm definitely looking forward to Gamescom, from what I know so far, and what Sony's cooking up next month. I think they will add another God of War. They're definitely doing some more God of War for sure. Wolverine, I've heard. I've heard 2026 for Wolverine, 2027 for Venom, 2025 at the earliest for Wolverine, I would say. I think we'll definitely find out some more clarity on the Wolverine situation. Excited for Uncharted 5. Without Amy Hennig, I wouldn't be excited for Uncharted, honestly. But we'll see. I don't know what they're planning. I know they're planning The Last of Us 3. I know they're working on a new original game as well. But yeah, Naughty Dog hasn't been the same since Amy left. But we'll see. All right, I'm out. I'm getting out of here. Appreciate everyone hanging out. We'll definitely be streaming the Marvel season of Fortnite, and definitely catch me doing Gamescom opening night live, official co-stream. Looking forward to some surprises. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.